Sound check. Good morning, 44 Nation. How's everybody doing? Today will be a little bit of a short page cut out. I'm actually trying to get my screen share here, and for some reason it's not working. So right now I'm probably seeing just a spy, but I'm seeing if I can get this thing updated on my end so that I could share here. Give me just a moment. Look, today is going to be a little bit of patience. These markets seem to be pretty indecisive. I think there's more fear that this escalation happening in the Middle East is going to continue. You guys are hearing it all over the news, but I do think there's some dips I'm willing to buy. I tried it on Microsoft yesterday. I may give it a go again today. Tesla, kind of the same thing, obviously, with their chat about SpaceX going IPO as early as, I don't know, a couple weeks from now. So we knew it was going to happen likely first, second quarter of this year, ideally for SpaceX. But let's keep an eye on names like Rocket Lab as well in sympathy. I already own some in preparation for the SpaceX IPO, if you guys remember, but may be looking to add at some point. With that said, again, market's opening a lot lower and plenty of news. I'm sure you guys have had your fair share of the news that's out there, but we do have a few minutes before we open. So let's talk stocks a little bit. So ARM, I'm going to see if we get some continuation from yesterday. It's really one of the only names right now kind of propping up the market, I think, along with AMD. We're seeing Microsoft catch a bid here right before the open. It's keeping an eye on crude as it continues to climb up to 93.86 right now. That's for crude futures. But NVIDIA is going to be my barometer today to see if we're risk on or risk off. And I'm okay with being patient, sizing, and maybe even sitting on my hands a little bit today, because it'll probably be a short day for me, probably be in and out of here in like an hour maybe. I'll try to stick around. We'll see if the action is hot this morning. Let's say good morning to the crew real quick. Give me 1 second. We've got Ali's in the house. Eileen, good morning. Anita, good morning. Erex, good morning. Bartos, good to see you. Brian, what's up? What's up? Christian's in the house. Darian's in the house. David, good to see you. Digit's here. What's up, Digit? How you been? Eddie's here. Frank, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you. G-Man's in the house representing. Jay, good to see you. Louis, Mark O, what's up, man? MD, Michael P, aloha. Omri's in the house. Rick, good to see you. Seth, good morning. Shubham, good to see you. Steve C, I like your background, by the way. It's a cool picture. T-Dash, good to see you. Trentster, what's up? And Vincent is in the house. I think I forgot about you, Suki. Good to see you there. Let's talk about what you guys are taking a look at. What stocks do you guys have in mind? Again, I mentioned some of these big Mag 7 names. Maybe people are starting to get a little antsy, like, ooh, I could buy this dip. I could buy this dip. So, again, top of the list for me right now is Microsoft. NVIDIA, though, being my barometer. So I'm not going to really trust these bounces just yet until I see NVIDIA decide to inch higher. But Microsoft will be one of those first names. And then I'm watching Tesla here, 382. Let's see if 380 maybe holds or not. The markets are open. And good luck, traders. Let's keep an eye on the Qs now, pulling back sharply here this morning. Be very cautious. Be very cautious. Tesla on the move now. Let's buy some Tesla. I'll start with some Tesla this morning. It'll be my first trade. Let's keep an eye on it here. I'm watching the Qs aim lower here. And then let me see if I can get, I know, Cliff, I appreciate you sharing that for now, but let's see if I can get my screens to share here. Give me 1 second here. 380, I might be able to do a market fill here. Let's see. Yeah, why is this not working? This is frustrating. Not sure why that's not working. I'll figure that out in a minute. All right, let's go. Tesla. Not my favorite entry. 38222. Kind of bad, but that's okay. Tesla over. Small size though. Guys, today will be all about sizing. Watching Microsoft here at 370. Let's see what it does. Seeing the Qs to see if we actually hold it down here. Coin looks interesting here at 174. Let's see what it does at 174. I'll wait. And I don't know what's going on. Why I can't share my screen. Do I have to, Clifton, is it this new restream thing that they've got? Because I go to the traditional share. Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be great. Because for whatever reason, I'm using the traditional way that I've always shared my screen, and it's not working. So Tesla looking okay for now. We'll keep that. NVIDIA, guys, let's keep an eye on NVIDIA here. 175.80. You know what? Let me see. I'm going to go full share size. 175.87 we got in NVIDIA, guys. 175.87. I'm going to add to Tesla here. That's full share size on NVIDIA. I'll give it literally to the low of session. I'm not giving it a whole lot. So if it takes the bottom out, I don't care. Watching the Qs fall over. And I'm watching Softy. If we get into 369 print, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, the Q's definitely pretty heavy here. I think there's a growing concern about the conflict, blah, blah, blah. I'm more concerned about the dollar right now, but we can talk about that later. We see the dollar gain strength. Bonds are going to get all messed up. It's not going to be fun, I don't think. Come on, Tesla. So let's see. My stop on the video will be 175. I'll get 175.44. So risk $400. No big deal. Take a look at KOD. Okay, I'll look at that. AAOI falling off a cliff at the moment. It's fine. ARM looks good, 160. I prefer to add to NVIDIA. Because today that is my barometer. Like if markets are going to move higher, it's going to be NVIDIA. Guys, I'm at 2x NVIDIA right now. 2x NVIDIA in just a moment. Let's see. Let's get back over 176 and hold. Good, 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 good. Good, good. Okay. You're 2x now, NVIDIA. I'm looking for a flyer now on NVIDIA. I'll move my stop up just a little bit to 175.59. Since now I've got 2x the share size. Just looking okay. Meta was getting thrown around this morning. It's a nice short. Those guys looking to go short this market. Looked pretty good. But you know, 560 is a humongous level. We're down at 578. So does 580 become the new low there? They had bad news yesterday. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And they're getting sued right now. And it seems like it's a smaller lawsuit, but it's could open the doorway because I guess apparently they're some folks coming out of an unfortunate accident. You know, someone young took their own life and blamed it on social media addictive behaviors. There's a pullback on Tesla. Don't like that. Oh. Okay, Tesla. That's why I went small share size with you. We know we got an ad still. Under 380, I'm going to dump it. Q's getting heavy, guys. Q's are getting heavy. Try not to panic on Tesla just yet, but I might. We'll see. NVIDIA now. Please don't stop me out. Please don't do it. Tesla. Come on. Come on. Okay. No go Tesla in 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Hanging on by a thread there. NVIDIA, what are you doing? No. Okay, I'm going to probably dump NVIDIA here as well. Yep. Well, out of NVIDIA, still in Tesla. 2 losing trades. Normally I'd want to short the heck out of this market here at the open. It's a lot like yesterday. We saw some buying behavior and then dump and then buying behavior and then dump. So it's not to say it's confusing, but it's definitely concerning, I would say. Like, at what point do we get a semblance of sanity here? Still in the Tesla trade. Okay, I'm going to add to Tesla, guys. I don't like adding to a losing trade, but Softy's moving yet. 171. Interesting. Or sorry, 371. I like it, Softy, yeah. Maybe I'll go for it here. Small size, guys. 371.44. Just got in there. Big reason is like, look, these are huge companies that I get it. There's conflict. I get it. There's concerns. I get it. But like a lot of these hyperscalers, I'm not going to say they're self-sufficient because they do have deals in place with, some of the big, what do you call them? Nuclear energy facilities. They're building out their own, power supplies and grids. So I do think that there's opportunity in these big tech hyperscalers. Not to mention, it's all tied around AI, guys. NVIDIA just stopped me out and now is climbing. That pisses me off when that happens. But this is the trouble with these kind of markets. It's definitely like whippy, like this, little whipsaw, shake and bake, move you one way, take your money the other way. So like it's like, look at the Qs. They just put in a new session low. Are we going to actually break now? Still in Tesla. All right, let's add some to Microsoft here. It's small enough. Qs though, aiming lower. Aiming lower. Not fun. Wow. Tesla looking okay. Microsoft looking okay. NVIDIA sleeping. Let's watch the Qs though. We got a bullish engulf here forming at 581. Let's see if that's enough. Man, it's really trying. NVIDIA though, when you see NVIDIA falling off a cliff, and it's not going to help markets for sure. Just being patient here this morning, guys. Softy looking good. I'll add a little bit here. $581 becoming a resistance point on the Qs, but we should lift if bulls want to take over. Now's the time. It's now or never. Otherwise, it could be real problematic for these markets to lift. If we can't keep over 581 right now, guys, be cautious. Microsoft looking great here. Nice lift. Tesla, I was just kind of eyeballing it because I don't have a ton of shares. I've got like 300 shares right now with Tesla with the ads and stuff. So it's really down near the lows. I don't want it to go any lower. And Microsoft, like, just a little over 371. And now I've added, so. Yeah, I'm just noticing post. So I'll post here in a sec. Just watching Tesla here. Looks good. If bulls want to show up, guys, it's right now or never. Right now or never. I'm tempted to hit NVIDIA again, guys. I like this move. There's the move on the Qs. Let's keep an eye. Here comes Tesla. Here comes Tesla. Guys, I'm tempted to get back into NVIDIA. What do you guys think? Okay. Gross. 17568 back in NVIDIA. I mean, you could still, Microsoft still looks good here if you didn't get in. My entry is over 371. 371.42. That's my dollar cost now because I added. So I think my entry was earlier than that. Beautiful move, guys, Tesla. Beautiful. Let's see. What about ARM? I like ARM, but the problem is it's just kind of stuck. We saw a ton of rotation in ARM. It could totally move today. What I'm looking at is like what's been beat up that people are going to buy as ancillary. So Microsoft's one of them. NVIDIA is another one. Tesla's another one. In my mind, again, keep the disclaimer. It's not financial advice. Your money. Do whatever you want with it. But noting, this is exactly what I wanted to see from the Qs. Like if we snap through 580, game over, down, baby, and it could still happen. But like I was saying, if bulls wanted to show up, now's the time, and we're seeing it, which is great. So what I'd love to see is a push on Tesla over, let's call it, 385, maybe 385. So near the close, 385.95, 386. And then with NVIDIA, the whole reason I want to get involved here, 177 is big level for NVIDIA. And if we can get above 177, I think 180 becomes a real, reality. Look at coin, guys. Big bounce on coin. I missed that at 174. Shoot. Anybody watching that? Oh, I missed it. CRWV. Shoot. Man, look at coin. That's a nice move on coin. Holy smokes. Look at the Qs now. Baby. Beautiful. I'll take a partial on Tesla here in just a minute, guys. And Microsoft will probably do the same. NVIDIA a little bit too slow for me now. Don't like the movement, but thought we'd get a little more love on that stock today. Come on, Tesla, get up there. Man, Meta's really in the toilet, huh? Coin is just a vicious stock. So whippy in the directions, and you can't buy it now at the peak, like 174, 175. It's great, and I just Didn't click the button. Oh well. Palantir down at 150. No, thank you. So now we'll probably see a little bit of battling here. I'm watching 583.32. Been talking about that level for a while, with the overhead level being 583.37, and ideal level, which was 9/11 of last year's 584.88. So we'll probably see a little bit of battling here. Looking at both SNDK and MU short. I like that trade actually. SanDisk specifically. Let me pull that up. Yeah, I do like this short, but 640 could prove to be a problem. But I do like that idea because people might be getting out of these high alpha risk on stock names like MU and SanDisk, where they're like, hey, I bought it at, $27 and it's at 600. Yeah, it's maybe time to sell some. Right? Guys, look at the cues now. Shifting gears, pushing higher. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Whoa. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Come on. Just keeping an eye on these Mag 7 names. We'll have Tesla and Softy on right now. Watching NVIDIA, but just the chip sector is kind of sideways right now. So I'm been patient. I do like SanDisk. If we can get in at maybe 649, 650, that'd be cool to short. Maybe. I'll wait. Look at coin though, guys. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I'm actually trying to get my screen to share again. Yeah, CRWV looking good. Nice. SanDisk now attacking the 640. Drop down to 638 there on that candle. ARM looks nice now. I'm just waiting for a direction, guys. I got my two trades on to buy the dip, Tesla and Microsoft. We try with NVIDIA. $1,500. Poof. We get ARM now. Only thing I worry about with coin is like it gets to 180 and then just boom, sells to like 165. I don't want to say it's a fear of mine, but it's like the only thing I'm really, really cautiously watching today. It's like I'm watching the charts. This is all strictly technical analysis. Like if we're gonna hold, we have to hold here, and we did, which is great. But I also know that this is going to be a real big area of contention. And if people are officially trying to get out of the way, SanDisk now breaking lower. Good call out, by the way, Mark. GLND, yep. Microsoft on the move, looks good. Let's keep an eye on coin. I'm watching that. 179 now, up at 180. SanDisk would have been a nice short. I was a little too late on my entry, so I didn't get involved. But I do think names like that are going to get probably beat up in the coming week or so. That said, NVIDIA trying to find some footing here at 175.5. Come on, Tesla. Give me 385. 385. Guys, Softy looking great. I'm going to add some more. Let's add some more. push over 373. There it is. Thank you. Beautiful. Now I'm going to wait. I want to see like, let's see. What did we do yesterday? This is right there in the bottom. Yep. So 376 at least. At least 376, guys. Microsoft. This is going to be great. Trying to figure out screenshot. Yeah, no, I'm doing the same thing. I appreciate that, Clifton. Yeah, buddy. Microsoft. Look at NVIDIA now. Trying to get up at 176. Coin on the move. Everything lifting, guys. Everything's lifting except for the big chips. SanDisk. So yeah, mark my words though. What I'm worried about is we start getting up to around this area, 583.77 on the Qs, and then we see a monster seller step in. Like as in takes out this entire stretch of the move up in one candle, just straight down. What is that? I'll ping me if something changes here. I'm trying to figure out how to get my screen to share here. I don't know why it's not. There's the push. There's the push. Palantir getting a nice little dead cat bounce there. Guys, Softy went straight up. It was on my watch list, but didn't really become apparent until right when I jumped on the microphone. I saw a gap up from 369 to 370. I'm like, okay, it's catching bids. Let's see if we can give it a go. It's a nice bounce at the Qs, guys. Very nice. Yeah, even on days like today, like buying the dip, it's risky. And if you were able to take advantage of it, you know, cue the disclaimer, but rule number one, all right, pay yourself first. In fact, Tesla, I'm going to take a partial if we don't breach 384 in a moment. Because like we're up on the trade, but it's not like, you know, not getting rich here. I'm going to try to, Cliff, I'm going to try to leave and come back in, see if that changes anything. All right. We are back. Let's see if this worked. I don't know if it did, to be honest. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What in the world? Hmm. You guys can hear me, right? At least. All right. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to share my screen. It's just not doing it. Oy, oy, oy. Pull this up here. Okay. Let's try that again. Man, I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing. Unbelievable. Yeah, Clifton, I'm going to have to chat with our folks. If you don't mind helping set that up, that'd be great. I'm just seeing the chat here. Bench pass. Money. Let us search stocks. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we did mention CRWD, SanDisk. I mean, I didn't take the short on SanDisk. I liked it. I wanted to see it bounce to 649, but it took a nice spill there. So for those of you guys that took it, congrats. It's amazing. I'm glad I took a partial on Tesla. It's pulling back a bit. Glad I took a partial on Microsoft, pulling back a little bit. But again, this is now we should see the flush to the downside. So I'm going to pick up some put options now on the Qs at 580 strike, right, for tomorrow. Can this flush, basically put it this way. If we end up at 584.88, so I'm going to give these put options some room to wiggle for today. We'll start with 10. And then I can add to 20 and even further if we start really cracking through 580. But that's my only concern for the downside move. And the barometer that I'm using for that, guys, I'm going to close out the rest of my Tesla here. It's fine. Made some money, just not a ton. AMD's pulling back. Guys, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, for me, is the barometer, and it's at the lows of session. Meanwhile, the Qs are trying to push higher, which tells me that more people are trying to diversify in the names like maybe Microsoft, Tesla, whatever, to see if they can get away with propping up the markets using those other names, maybe even diversify the portfolio a bit. But AMD is moving lower, NVIDIA is moving lower, SanDisk's moving lower. The techs or the stocks that were leading the charge are aiming lower. So what I wanted to see is exactly what we're seeing here. See bottom get put in, see bulls try to, shake everybody out. And now I really want to see the bears one candle straight down to the lows of session. May not happen in one candle, but a very vicious candle to the downside. So again, we'll start with 10. I don't post options trades, as you guys know, but it's a 580 strike for tomorrow. Start with 10, and then I can always add. There goes the break on Tesla. Good news, we're all out. That's fine. Still have some left in the softy trade. That's okay. On days like today, it's okay to be a little more patient, sit on your hands a bit. That's part of trading is a game of patience. I jumped into NVIDIA thinking, man, if we get a turnaround, I'm going to ride this thing, but I had to have a hard stop in place because days like today, they could, whipsaw you out. But now I really want to see if bears want to take a stand, they need to show up right now. The same way the bulls did down at 580. So let's see if the bears can take over. But bulls are trying to protect 580 on the Qs. 6,600, 6,500 even now at this point on SPY futures. And this is why, even then, so we're starting with sizing 10 contracts. So I don't mind, losing a couple $100, but it's now my insurance. It's like an insurance policy, right? And AMD 212 on AMD is a big level, 212. So I'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. You guys like that URGO, huh? In my hands. Oh, all right. Well, that's part of being a trader too. Is just sometimes doing nothing is part of doing something. If that makes sense. Doing nothing is in having the discipline or patience to, hey, if that setup isn't there, I'm not going to force a trade. We talked about it even pre-market. Where's my barometer? It's NVIDIA. What do I think is going to happen? We'll probably dip lower, see if we fight at 580 for bulls to take over. It's exactly what happened. Now let's see if the third part of that equation plays out, which seems almost counterintuitive because like bulls, if they're willing to push the markets this high, they should try to keep carrying it forward. But that's exactly why the third part is the biggest variable where realistically most of my trades would then be set up. So if the third part of it is the Qs actually do roll over, I'm going to short everything. So I'll get out of this, long position in Microsoft, which we're up, but we took a partial already, so I don't really care. At this point, I won't go zero or negative on that. You know what I mean? Like days like today they're a little bit tricky. Markets are a little bit indecisive. But then it becomes a question like, how long do you want to trade? Trade versus invest, right? And I think if long-term holding Microsoft here, if I was an investor, I don't know. Depends on my portfolio. Might feel good to hold on for a while. But like I'm still sitting on that USO trade, by the way. I'm just waiting to see how that plays out. I was like, I'll give it a week. And we're doing just fine on that trade. So normally I would have trimmed up, taken a partial, but this is one where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, let's see what happens. So we're all different in that way, I'm sure, but still. Scott has great trading. You are just get out $30 too early. Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about when Scott was trading it? Oops. I didn't spell it right. UGRO. They have earnings today. Did they already report? Or is it after? Do you know? I think it's after the close. Yeah, you guys were trading at it when it was single digits, wasn't it? He's kicking himself when it went to $10. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea. I don't even know what those guys do. Agriculture Technology System Integrator, Engages in manufacturing, distributing, and selling lighting, pest management, water, and other. Okay. Interesting. Two companies that actually have done some really impressive stuff in agriculture that I was blown away by. Land O'Lakes and The Wonderful Company. You guys like have pistachios or whatever. They do some pretty cool stuff with like analyzing dirt and water and irrigation and kind of a cool industry to check out. I'm going to add to my put options on the cues, guys. I don't know, Clifton, if you're out there, do you mind sharing at least that screen that you had up? So at least we're looking at something we could add. I don't know. If not, it's okay. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on my end. I'm literally trying to share my screen, restarted my computer and everything, and it's just not working for some reason. So I get to have a fun conversation with some of our tech stuff. Oh, there's stream. Yep, that's right. Looking at Apple. Wow, yeah, that'll help markets for now. This is what I mean, though. There's probably people going, "Hey, I'll buy Apple at 250, right? Hey, I'll buy Microsoft at 370, or hey, I'll buy." You know what I mean? Where it's like people are going, "Yeah, why not?" Guys, here comes the rollover on the cues. I'm calling it right now. We got 20 put options right now. 580 strike for tomorrow. Building that position. I'm willing to go up to 50. If we crack 582 and a half on the way down, I'll add some more. I'll add 10 more. Well, I need to see that confirmation of the bearish engulf. But be careful if you're long right now. Markets look like they want to roll over. Okay, here comes slight push to the downside. Watching Microsoft roll over a little bit as well. Yeah, that first trade on NVIDIA screwed me up a little bit. So the money I made on Tesla and Microsoft basically helped pay that down. And these put options are looking great. So I might be saved by the put options again. SanDisk was a good call out. Mark, thanks for doing that. It was a very nice call. I didn't take the trade. I'm glad some of you guys did. Coin is still like an interesting. There was like top of my list today between Coin and then when I saw the move on Microsoft, I'm like, yeah, maybe people are going to buy this dip for the ancillary names, not the names that have already been bought. We'll say like SanDisk or MU or. Yeah, Clifton, I need to get on the phone with these guys to figure out what's going on with this stuff. If you can help with that. Christian get it's a must stay. I was literally going nowhere until S&P basic dropped 900 in my account, and I'm done for the day, Christian. Nice. Cool. Yeah, it's funny, like we talked about that, right? Like MU, SanDisk, and I was like, I preferred SanDisk. I was watching them earlier today. Right when we were watching that, what, like 644 or so? Something like that. Anyway. So if we get a bounce back to 649, I'll short it. And instead, bloop, fell right off a cliff. I still like coin though. I mean, it's shaping up real nice here on the bounce. And that's one it can rip, that one. Only trouble is if you're to get in now, you got to put, I don't know, maybe 2-3 points on it for it to dance. And that's kind of risky right now. So I'll wait. I'll keep an eye on it. Just, again, I'm being a lot more patient today because it's they're whipsaw markets. So typically what I'll do with these is I'll use options because one, they're a lot cheaper. And two, it kind of helps round it out. Like I don't mind, and again, everybody's different. I get it, but like losing $400 or $500 on a trade using options, like it's not going to bother me too much, you know. But like if it's like stocks, yeah, that bothers me. Because to get, let's just say, 4 points out of Microsoft, it's not an easy squeeze, you know. 4 points out of NVIDIA, it's not an easy squeeze. But with options, like I don't really care. It can move 3, 4, 5 points round trip, and it doesn't really move the needle, unless we get what I think is going to happen today. I genuinely think we're going to crack 580 today on the Qs and fall off a cliff. That's what I think. And so from that, you may be asking, well, why would you buy the dip if that's what you're thinking? And it's because, think of it this way. There's got to be a ton of people that know that that's the risk. Like if I know it, I guarantee you, the guys, you know, they have real money, they for sure are watching the same thing. And they know they have to intervene to try to, you know, prevent that from happening. So what does that mean? You buy the dip. Unfortunately, though, I don't think this dip is going to hold this time around. So this is where I'm going to be paying attention today to see which stocks like handle the impact better than others, if that makes sense. And with NVIDIA falling off a cliff nonstop today is a barometer of risk for me today, while the Qs are trying to be propped up, but I see NVIDIA aiming straight down. That's just confirming kind of where my bias is directionally, which is to the downside. Whereas names like, you know, say for example, Microsoft holding up pretty well. Arguably, even AMD, right? Like, yeah, it's lower than it was yesterday, but look what happened yesterday. So if you know, take a step back and look left, which stocks are actually, you know, I'd say up and to the right, and then which ones are just going sideways when markets are aiming lower. And it's important to note which ones those are. Because if markets aim lower, and let's just say Microsoft holds this 370 area, and let's just say the Qs break, and okay, give or take, let's just say Microsoft gets around, I don't know, 367, because it did that pre-market, what, to 368, I think? So, okay, maybe it puts in a new low in that 367 area, but it starts holding. That's a good sign. It shows where the strength is, where that durability is in some of these names. Anyway, cue the disclaimer. That's what I'm looking at least, for the time being. To know, like, let's just say there's a direction. Let's say that direction is up or down, where I can probably get the most alpha out of my trade based on the strength of that correlation. And I wish I could show my screens so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. That's so frustrating. Yep, ARM, nice, yeah. We talked about that one earlier today for sure. Just bouncing that one around different screens, but guys, 174.97 I have as a highlighted area for NVIDIA on my screen. 174.97 high volume area and critical area. We went to 175 on the dot at the low point today on NVIDIA. Let's see if that 174.97 holds or it doesn't. No new trades for me yet, guys. Just watching. Just watching. Coin especially. And I'll be looking to add 10 more put options, guys, if we break through, let's just call it the VWAP on the Qs. So 582.5 is what I'm going to call it. So we 582.5, I'll add 10 more. Guys, watch NVIDIA here. 175.05 now. If it breaks 174.97, it should have a pretty hard spike through the bottom of that. As I'm going to close out Microsoft here. I think we're going to get the rollover. Let's wait. Yep. Watch NVIDIA here. Barely poked through that 97 level, down to 90. Let's see if we get the drop now. Careful if you're long. Getting ready to add to my put options on the Qs. And those are 580s for tomorrow. Yeah, to be fair, SanDisk is a scary one to short too. you can get messed up on that spread pretty quick. Okay, guys, I'm going to do an early ad on the Qs. I think this is it. I think we're going to get a big red candle here. Okay, just added. So we got 30 now. Let's see how they do. Yeah, let's see. I'm basically flat other than that. Natural gas numbers are out. Keep an eye on that. Let's look at LNG real quick. I think we're getting pop here. No, nothing too crazy. Let's see what VG is doing. No, nada. Not for me. It looks like we're kind of slowing down a bit here, guys. UGRO halted again. Back to 30 bucks. Bang. All right. Any you guys trading that, by the way? It's not really a stock I would trade, but still. Just got halted. Who brought that up? I think Rick brought it up. Yeah, you and me both, Seth, for sure. I mean, even, like for me, coin today is like a little too volatile for me. It was high on my list today. 174, 175. I didn't think we'd actually get that low. It did. And then I was like, ooh, this thing could probably sink to 160s, you know? And it didn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Oh well. Just tinkering around with Tesla. Yeah, right now, small red day because of that, 2x share size on NVIDIA. Made some of it back, but not enough. The only trouble with these markets, it's all headline driven, which is why sizing is super important. If you want to buy the dip, cool. But if you're looking to use options or whatever as a mechanism, cool. Like, do whatever you can. Risk management is going to be key until we make a decision. And I say when we make a decision, I'm talking about the markets, regardless of the headline news. Like, I don't know if any of you guys watch futures, but just look at the futures, even pre-market, pre and post. They're crazy. Up and down and up and down and up and down. Like no clear direction. Just chop, whipsaw. And that's problematic for if you're a trader. That's an amazing place to trade. As long as you have your rules in place, you could scalp all over, point here, 2 points, 10 points, whatever it is. But if you're the type that like set it, forget it, walk away, go make some lunch, and then come back, there's a good chance that may not work out right now in these kind of markets, which is unfortunate. Because like you might walk away, put a stop in place, get stopped out, then you show up 5 minutes later and it's this, exactly what you wanted it to do. What time frame are you using, Rick? I would say because it depends. I would argue the real bull flag formation was, bear flag formation was on Wednesday. Heck, no, I wouldn't say that is. That's almost break of structure there. But yeah, Wednesday, pre-market. So the problem with this setup now, your bear flag that came in, like I just zoomed out on a big chart. Again, I wish I could share my screen right now. It sucks. So if you go to Monday, so as long as Monday through now is on your screen, I have a 1 minute right now, but you could do 5. But that pre-market move, so you had the initial leg down, and you saw it move higher, then it broke structure. There's your bear flag. The problem with where we're at now, this could turn into a pivot on Microsoft specifically. So hence why I was looking to buy it, because if we're going to pivot, it should be around here above that call 370, 369.70 is the actual area. They'd want to see be the floor for that pivot. again, cue the disclaimer, everybody does it their own way, but that's at least how I was watching it. Excuse me. I think markets in general are going to roll over today, period. That's why I've got my put options on. I'm not shorting anything. I'm not going out of my way to do it. And look at NVIDIA, guys. That is my barometer. Here comes the break on the Qs, guys. My 30 put options looking great. Willing to go up to 50. If we can break 582 to the downside, let's go. Seth. If there was a competition for sitting on your hands and not doing anything, Seth would win, it sounds like. Good luck, Rick. Right on. Well, also worth noting, if I were to pull up, let's just do that real quick, because now I'm curious. 26. There we go. Sure, January 7th, no problem. To call it there. So Microsoft's down about 24% or so, give or take, on the year. I just did that measuring, but it's a pretty significant move to the downside. That's from the beginning of the year, that is. So can it go lower? Of course. Of course. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to take anything else today, guys. I'm going to keep these put options. That's kind of it, though. Like, looking around, I'm okay with not trading this. I've got USO on. I've got my, my rate trade. The only thing that I didn't add to the rate trade was Tesla just yet, but this might be an area where I add that for the rest of the year. Only trouble is like this down leg on everything could be an issue to break. Everybody keeps talking about the 200 SMA. Everybody knows when the Qs of the SPY break the 200 SMA, it's no bueno. Okay, Trump's talking now. Now let's see. T-ask good. Yeah, Mark, exactly. Yeah, I see that. I'm wondering if it's more like, just talking about airfare or if it's going to be real. Oh, look at this. Begging to make a deal, not me. Iran is begging me to make a deal, not... Huh. Interesting. Are we hearing that the complete opposite of that from me? Oh, Amazon, yeah, looks good. Again, this is what I meant earlier from today. So like Microsoft, Amazon, maybe even NVIDIA, like names that have been beat up. Like I would argue probably Google today too. Yeah. Well, they're actually in the news too, so they had some stuff happen. But look at Meta just nosedive, by the way. Whoa. Seth, where you at on that one? I know you like to trade that one. Guys, here comes the break on the Qs. Be careful. My options are looking fantastic. This is why I didn't take any. See that? We saw a spike almost to the high of the day and then a big red candle. Like, forget the news. Guys, this was the plan. It almost feels like unfair sometimes when this happens. And the trouble is you just got to be patient and let it play out. Now, can I be wrong still? Of course. Trump could say like, hey, guess what, guys? Oil is free. Like, who knows, right? But these are the kind of markets where you can get in big trouble real fast if you're not careful with sizing and risk management. Which is why I'll use today as a perfect example. What's saving my tail today are these put options for now. And if they go to, no, maybe not zero, but I take a red trade on that, that's okay. It's a manageable red day, no big deal. Right now, we're green because of these put options. My USO trade looks fantastic right now. It's moving higher. Why? Because of area of contention. That's more of a swing trade for me, to be fair. And then at this point, the rate trade, which I was planning on keeping throughout the year, which is Rocket Labs, Alphabet, Tesla, and ENPH, if you guys remember. And the idea is set it and forget it. Whatever happens to them by, I don't know, May, maybe June. So be it. But I just haven't added Tesla yet. So maybe Tesla down at like 360, I'd probably add to the list and then just hold on to it. I don't know if we're going to get there, though, because the SpaceX IPO it. So we'll see. Here come the cues, guys. Be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, T-Dash, they are, for sure. Again, I do like, you asked about Amazon. I do like Amazon, but it just depends, man. Like, so 21225, big level. And I say big level, like, you put it into like a box. But keep in mind, guys, by the way, NVIDIA was my barometer today for risk on, risk off. Look at this. By the way, congrats, Rick. I think you're in the Microsoft short, yeah? Good luck. The 200 EMA is sitting right at that 370 or 370.94. So good luck. Hopefully you get that break. Again, I wanted Marcus to roll over, which is cool. But it just kind of sucks that NVIDIA so right now, just again, hate to say it, sit on your hands unless you're willing to short stuff. Cool. But like, dude, these Q put options are going nuts right now. It's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome. I shouldn't be rooting for this market to tank because, frankly, this is different this time. This could be bad. And I will say this, not to be doom and gloom, but let's keep an eye on the dollar. Part of the reason, too, I'm okay with swing trading this USO trade because, frankly, in my mind, I was thinking, if you're Iran, you're in this position, you're getting hit all different ways. What are you going to try to negotiate? You want to keep that straight and then basically have a tollway. Right now, it's considered an international, pass through for 20% of the world's oil. Or is it, no, 20 million barrels a day go through there. But imagine if you just get to tax that, every ship coming through there, a couple $1,000,000 each, just to pass through. Well, what does that mean? Gas prices are going to move higher. They have to, right? Because it's going to be embedded in the cost and the margin, blah, 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 blah. You guys get the game. But for the longest time, what do we always say? Oil should be what? Between 60 and 70 bucks for everybody to be happy. Now I think that's going to change. I think it's going to be closer to 90 to 100 bucks. Maybe even 110 bucks. What do I know, though? And what do you think that does to inflation? No bueno. Guys, okay. Time out for a minute. NVIDIA being the barometer, which way are we going? That's number one. Number two, if we snap 580, we could really, 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 really start moving fast to the downside. Capitulatory type move. So be careful, please. Cue the disclaimer. It's your money. Do whatever the heck you want. But we're down 1% right now on the Qs. That 1% could turn to 2%. That could really turn into 3% on a day like today. And granted, because Trump's talking, who knows, right? Now he's saying we don't know if we're willing to work on a deal with Iran. Guys, NVIDIA is literally just bleeding out now. SNDK for real. Let's look. Well, okay, perfect example. Who's asking about Amazon again? Sorry. Is that T-Dash? But like, notice, look how hard the markets are rolling over, and look what Amazon's doing. Look at even Microsoft's doing. They're just kind of holding. Whereas like Nvidia falling out of bed, SanDisk down to 625. All of it makes sense though. Like if you know there's a huge risk on all this stuff, like where do you see people wanting to take money out? Like SanDisk, no joke, a year ago was at $27. Okay, it's at $627. That's in the last year. Like, that's a meteoric rise right there for sure. And heck, I remember I was trying to short the thing. It was like $200. I'm like, this is totally overjuiced. And it went up to what, $780 or something like that? Something crazy. Trump reiterates 4 to 6 week timeline for Iran war. Okay. Anyway, the reason I said pause for a minute, guys, we talked about what the cues were. This is all technical. Forget what's happening right now. It was go down to 580. If bulls are going to step in, they're going to defend this area. We'll bounce higher, 583.77, ideally to 584.88. If you're bullish, you need that 584.88 so you can continue. We didn't quite get there, right? Started building a put option position, and what did I say? I want to see an actual big candle, aggressive red bar, straight to the bottom, the low of day. We're almost there, and it just didn't happen in one candle. It's taken, we're bleeding out a little bit, fine. But this is the I'd say the beauty or power of having a plan. We took a couple trades here and there, got a couple base hits with Tesla and Microsoft. We paid ourselves first. Good risk management on Nvidia. I gave it a little, 20 cents more than I wanted to give it, but that's okay. But now check this out. Watch the cues now. 580.27 was the all-time high put in on August 12th of last year. If we break that, how fast do we snap? We'll start looking at the carry trade from Japan. You guys remember when that was? In August? Anyway. Let me pull this up actually. I'm just checking something out right now. No partial yet on these put options. I want to see the low of day. That's kind of crazy. Let's just look at something real quick. 562 on the Qs is how far from this? 8%. 8%, guys. I think we got another 8% left in the tank to the downside. When does it happen? I don't know. But guys, we are in the 580 print now on the Qs. No partial yet. Waiting for that snap of. Kind of risky for me. Normally, I'd been paying myself first. We are for sure green now on the day. UGRO, another halt. Unbelievable. SanDisk, good call out. Mark, wish we would have taken it. Yeah, actually, Rick was saying that. I just saw your note. NVIDIA falling off a cliff. Coin falling off a cliff. USO moving higher. That's a sign, guys. I guess I get it now why UGRO is moving higher. First of all, earnings coming up today. Second of all, where do you see the money moving to now? Crude, food, water, energy, the basics, utilities. Risk off, guys. That's what it translates to. In fact, I'd be surprised to see what happens. The dollar's going to... Whoa, there's the break, guys, on the Qs. I mean, could I have written it better, more clear, painted on the wall without, mentioning NVIDIA? Let's go. Guys, I'm going to take some off here. I'm going to take 20 off. We'll leave 10. That's an awesome trade, guys. Big bank take little bank. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, should I play it back? I wish I could go back in a recording and just replay it. And I think we're going to bounce here and then take out the lows. Meanwhile, it really looked like we were going to break out and move, 584 and higher. That could still happen. But this was the plan. This is what I wanted to see happen. It happened. So pay myself first. Love it when a plan comes together. Now we've got 10 to play out and see if we can continue to break that 580 print and keep going. T-Dash, did you take them? Let's see, you're mentioning they're killing it, but did you take those? He just said maybe oil prices will go up a little bit more. They have a new hat. Trump was right about everything he said. What in the world? This guy. Oh man. You did. T-Dash. Really? Awesome, man. Love it. Yeah, made for a nice day now. Again, couple of base hits, a swing and a miss, and then an absolute triple slash home run here on these put options. Even with the partial, I'm glad we took 20 off. Reason being, all-time high, August 12th, 2025. Was put in on at 580.27. I would suspect that we go back and retest that level if this bounce is real. Well, that's it for me, guys. On that note, mic drop. Boom. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But a day like today is tricky. Like, I really don't want to be sitting in front. I'm going to be paying attention, frankly, because you've got, some Fed heads talking today. You've got this cabinet meeting happening in the White House. So yeah, anything could change, and I'll take advantage of those moves and shifts if I feel that they're real and directional. But right now, I've got a position in play to the downside. Guys, look at AMD, for example. Look at AMD. Look at NVIDIA. Straight down. So, like, we could have shorted those stocks for sure, but I don't know. I didn't want to take the risk on one specific name today because if you look at the chip sector by and large, you've got names like ARM holding, you've got Apple moving higher, SanDisk lower, AMD lower, NVIDIA lower. What's MU doing? Just out of curiosity. Lower. Well, that's going to do it, folks. And I'll get this screen sharing thing figured out. But I'd say overall, pretty good day. I'm going to hang on to these put options. I'll probably trim them up, maybe take 5 of them off. In fact, I'll do that. So I don't want to get stuck with the theta decay, but we'll leave 5. So if it plays out, cool. I'll leave the rest to break even, which it's got a ways to do that. But if it happens, it happens. I'll keep an eye on, again, Coin and NVIDIA are kind of my 2 barometers to watch today. Why, you may ask? Coin on the crypto versus dollar, I'm going to call it. Not even just crypto, I'd say blockchain versus the dollar. Like some of the risk, I think I'm starting to get why this whole Strait of Hormuz became a thing. Because most of China and India get their oil from that area. We're relatively self-sufficient here in the States. We just get our cleaner oil from other parts of the world. So I wonder if it's just a way to have a bargaining chip for China. So who knows? What do I know? It's just an opinion. I'm just kind of playing out the moves of the chessboard in my mind, going, why would we do that? So anyway, more to come there, but I'm going to keep an eye on, again, Coin and NVIDIA being my barometer of risk on, risk off. We see a big spike in NVIDIA. It's a good chance these markets may have a chance to rally back to the upside. Apple, though, just trying to hang on. Look at it. I mean, it's just hanging on to that 256 and change. And this is the point. Like we're going to see names like an Apple that prove durability during these times. So what does that mean? That means that when we see dips in these names, there's a good chance we're going to find buyers at specific levels. So let's remember those levels, right? If you were looking at Apple today, keep an eye on this level, highlight it, do something, make sure you're aware of it, mark it, put some notes on it, do whatever you want, so that if you need to reference it later on, you know what happened during that level, right? So anyways, trade how you want, do what you want. It's just an idea, just an opinion. It's how I use my charts kind of as a reference book to go, hey, what happened on this day? What happened during this event? Like when I can go back right now and look at what day the Iranian war started, what range did we trade at that given specific time, and the day that we actually broke that level. And it's important to know those things, I think. Anyways, all right, y'all. I think Scott's back tomorrow, Friday. So we'll see you guys at the open again. I apologize for the screens not working. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm going to have to get on a phone call later on today with these guys, find some availability and get that sorted out. But I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you guys were able to make some money today again. I had a couple base hits, swing and a miss on NVIDIA, which is cool. We got out of there with some risk management. And then, man, these options really just absolutely crushed it. So anyways, appreciate y'all. See you in the morning. Cheers. God bless.